us in recess. Take a break to listen to President Zelensky. It was an honor to be able to do that. I know we're starting late, so I'm going to go right to two of our senators who are here waiting patiently. Senator Scott of Florida.
I thank for Chairman for hosting this and for his commitment to trying to figure out how we continue to help people that need help in our country. In Florida, we've heard from veterans that agencies continue to make their processes more, as they make their processes more digital, it's becoming increasingly difficult for disabled veterans to continue to receive the care and services they're accustomed to. For example, the VA Beneficiary Travel Service self-service system has been a physical form for years, VA Form 103542. And as the VA made the program digital in July 2020, we have veterans who are being told they cannot file this form in person, yet are unable to use the online BTSSS process portal for a variety of reasons, including disabilities that inhibit their ability to use the online system, and they're suffering from not receiving their benefits in a timely manner. Clearly, I think all of us would agree that's got to get fixed. Our nation's veterans deserve the highest quality service we can provide. I'm proud to join Chairman Casey on a common sense bill, the Veterans Accessibility Act, to ensure that the VA and all of its services are accessible for individuals with disabilities. And I want to thank the chair for doing that. Giving veterans and people with disabilities a voice to improve accessibility at the VA is at the core of this bill and central to ensuring that no one is left behind. So I've just got a few questions. What are you doing? What are y'all doing, and what should we do to improve accessibility to? And our improved accessibility does not negatively impact the user experience and participation of people with disabilities, older adults, and veterans in government services. And there's no order. Whoever feels comfortable going first. Okay, looks like you're going to go first.
Yep, Senator Scott, thank you for the question and the comments. So Service Oklahoma, we're clearly in our infancy as we've been offering services to the citizens of Oklahoma for a little less than a year now. I think when we view a specific population group like veterans, for example, I think we look at it from two different components. I think number one, we look at it from the individual products or services we provide and how can we make sure that those are accessible and meeting the needs of that population. And so just to give an example, we inherited an online renewal for a driver's license. And as we decided to work through redesigning that product, we found a couple of things. Number one, we wanted to make sure that we made it more accessible and simplified for all citizens. So we decreased the number of steps from 31 to 14. But I think the second thing that was really important to us is the previous process. If you were 100% disabled veteran in the state of Oklahoma, you actually receive your driver's license at free of charge, no charge to that citizen. But our online product actually didn't have a spot for you to check a box or to be eligible, to show that you were eligible to get that transaction for free. So we were requiring those veterans to actually pay for the transaction, pay for the driver's license, and then they had to depend on our finance group to go through the process to go back and refund that dollars to them whenever they actually felt like they could get to it. So obviously,
like those rebates they suppose they're going to send to you, right?
Yeah, exactly. One of those mail-in rebates
that you never get.
Exactly. So we really wanted to be sure that we added that eligibility so that they could have that digital product at the service level that was promised to them of actually getting that free of charge. So we've made that improvement as we redesigned the product. And so that's an example at the individual product level. I think from a population as a whole perspective, in the state of Oklahoma, there's a variety of different organizations that offer benefits or services to veterans specifically, and obviously other user groups. And so in our mid to long-term plans, what we really want to do is centralize those locations of those services so that a veteran doesn't have to sit there and try to guess which agency provides which benefits or which services, and also have an idea of what services are actually available to them. And so we want to put that in a centralized location, really design it around what their tendencies would be as an actual user or as a customer, and also based on their actual persona, so what actually might be eligible to a 100% disabled veteran as an example. And so really we want to be sure that we're trying to alleviate those frustrations, increase that experience, but also make it a lot more accessible to those veterans and all citizens in Oklahoma so they have an idea of what services are available and how to actually achieve those services.
Okay, anybody else? Ms. Osman, would you like to say anything?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. I can speak about individuals who are veterans who are blind, and in terms of the, many of them have lost their sight in service to our country. When they come back, though, there's such a digital divide because they have, prior to losing their vision, they had relied on it, and if they did have access to technology or they used technology, it was very visual. And so first and foremost, I think one recommendation for government is to meet individuals where they are and provide a multifaceted approach. We certainly do not support the elimination of paper-based applications or the elimination of in-person submission, because some people are always going to need that. The technology, you don't wake up at a military VA hospital and all of a sudden you're capable of whatever your limitation is, just jumping right past it to be able to do TikTok and all of the other things that people have done. And so we need to make sure that the applications and access systems are multifaceted. There are, though, some advancements with technology that we also, I believe, need to focus on. There are things like, think of your smart speaker. There are lots of things that you can do with it now by voice command that you couldn't before, and that veterans could benefit from those sorts of things. Automated phone services. I think, most importantly, it's to have multiple avenues of accessing our government products and services, because each individual has a disability that's going to differ from the person next to them. And so we want to make sure that we're not going 100% digital and eliminating the manual process that some individuals need, or going 100% manual where there's so many other people with disabilities who cannot access and lose access to systems and services.
Thank you. I want to, I know my time's up. I just want to thank the chair for hosting this, and I want to thank him for the quality of the individuals that he's brought here to give us information.
Senator Scott, thanks very much for your questions, and thanks